Well, hello. Okay, so let's begin. Hi, my name is Jessica. I am super brand new at all of this. This is numero uno of um, my attempts at the the YouTubes or the vlogging, what have you. Um, so just a little bit about uh, what I'd like to do here. Uh, so I got started doing this or thought about doing this um, because I felt like as I've gotten older in age, it's been um, I've 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 gotten more interested in um, life, in the world, and how things work. I've become more um, socially aware of things, and excuse me, I've tried to open my eyes to some things that I might not have previously. So, um, with that, I've tried to um, just be a little bit more open minded in things and learning and yeah. So it kind of all got kick started, and this is gonna sound funny and maybe stupid to somebody, but whatever. But it kind of all got started with the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard debacle. um, I started watching it on my own. Um, it just kind of piqued my interest as far as um, being. I know it wasn't the first trial that was televised. I remember way back when watching, the Casey Anthony trial um, when it was on, um, but not really. I was younger then. I didn't really watch it. Um, I didn't, I didn't really take the time to figure things out um, or to learn about things as much as I would now, I guess. I don't know. Um, so to, uh, but watching the Amber Heard and the Johnny Depp, I guess it kind of piqued my interest because I've always been a Johnny Depp fan. And, um, I heard about, the whole allegations and stuff about him a long time ago, but, it didn't change my mind about him. I still, you know, watched his movies and did stuff like that. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know. I didn't even know Amber Heard was in Aquaman 2 or Aquaman. I mean, I had to go back and be like, really? I didn't even know who the chick was, to be quite honest. And I mean, who was looking at the chick in the movie? Um, just being honest. But anywho, uh, yeah. So it all got started there. It piqued my interest, and then I found myself having questions. Going through the process and having questions, and then I was like, because I was watching it on the stale old you know long crime or court TV, and you get the analysis from the reporters and this and that. But I was like, is there somebody else out there that is commenting on this or doing things with this, like watching along, watching along with it, that, that I can relate with. And that's when I stumbled upon Emily D. Baker. Um, and, it was funny because stumbled along her page and it clicked. Like, she was saying everything that I was saying, except she obviously had a law degree and a law background, and she could answer the questions that I had about, the legal mumbo jumbo. But, me at the same time had all these, she was still, commenting the same way I was, like, you know, the stupid, or saying, calling people out on the bullshit. So it was nice to see, I wasn't the only one yelling at my TV screen or yelling at my phone or what have you. So that's kind of how it started, and then it just kind of snowballed from there, because then it got to, Emily uh, kind of opened the door to a whole nother, um, as Joe Neerman would say, or Good Logic would say, a whole genre of uh, legal minds. And uh, from there, it just kind of took off. And I am a frequent watcher of all of legal law tube genre uh, participants, I guess. I don't know what PC term is these days, uh, given current situations and whatnot. But anywho, uh, so that being said, I have my regular, go-tos for current events and current situations, and you know, you got Emily, you got Nick, you got Joe, you got Jeff, you got Andrew, Kurt, uh, Ian, come on now. Everybody loves a spicy Canadian, but Ian, um, Rob, those are all, the go-tos here. So it's, I don't want to leave anybody out. Oh, and Hayden, he's a newer comer. Not sure quite if, Australia is real, but I'm sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But it's fine. Pretty sure it is. He lives there. He would know. Anywho, Nate. Um, so it's all very interesting, and they all bring a different uh, different take to any given situation. So it's interesting to see everybody talk about different things, and then it's interesting to see if they don't, agree on something. Well, I didn't think of it this way, or I didn't think of it that way, or here's the argument for this, or here's the argument for that. It's good to see that, and it's good to see that they can have the camaraderie that they have, and be able to do that, and have jokes and continue with that. So anyway, that's my spiel. That's how I got started with the whole, you know, uh, rabbit hole of YouTube, really. And then, of course, you have all the crime documentaries and the dark hole of the true crime. And of course, the Bailey Sarian of it all was, you know, the dark history and the murder mystery makeup Mondays is to a favorite. But it just had me thinking about, and everybody wanting to be some type of YouTuber these days. Anywho, I also wanted to do something that got me gave me the chance to talk about things that, all of the law aspect of things is great. And, I know that's not all that they talk about, and it's not everything that they talk about, especially Nick. Nick has started doing karaoke, and that is quite wonderful. I was, you know, driving for work today and found myself singing karaoke with Nick because he's up so late. And, I got work and things. I can't stay up that late, but he's great. He's wonderful. I keeps me entertained throughout the day. But so it's it's also something to just be able to sit and be cathartic to talk about things, and to be open, and to not be afraid to express how you feel about something, or what you think about something, you know and it's I've listened to them all for so long, like, and interacted in their chats and things, and they don't know me, but it feels like I know them. It feels like I'm part of their community, and that's a cool feeling. Because I've interacted in all of their chats, and um, it's nice to be part of that. I feel like it's nice to be part of that community, and to feel like people hear you and see you, and all of those things. But so, with that being said, my thoughts were that, you know, I wanted to go back through. I haven't quite figured out all of the if I had like a area of which that I would like to to focus on. Um, but I think it's more whatever kind of like grabs my attention at the time. Um, so it um, was kind of something that sparked my attention. I've been watching um, Legal Vice's coverage of the OJ Simpson stuff. So it's kind of a history lesson, I guess. Um, uh, some were there, some weren't, age wise. Anywho, but so I don't remember if it was him or if it was something Nick said one night that it was about the George Zimmerman. But it sparked my interest because, again, um, goes back to like the whole um, mainstream media and how things are portrayed in the media and how things are covered, and how absolutely wrong the mainstream media can get it. Being somebody that watched the Johnny Depp trial every single day, and then hearing how it was reported on in the news, and getting all that feedback, it was insane, the wrong narrative that was put out there for the public. And, and it was just how it was hard because nobody really in my circle even knew about it or even cared, celebrities, drama, who cares? Nobody really around me even cared about the situation, but I was invested. I was invested. I watched it every single day. If I didn't watch it live, I would watch it at night. I made sure to watch every single thing so I didn't miss anything. And I was invested. So, and then to hear the narrative that MSM put out was just insane to me. And it got me thinking about how, you know, how things get twisted. And, then, got me thinking back to the Kyle Rittenhouse trial and how he was painted and how he was portrayed in the media and how that whole situation, and then it took me down the rabbit hole of Black Lives Matter and how that was, and I just kept digging in and digging into things and just coming across different things that you know didn't fit the mainstream media's narrative, and it just gave me more perspective of what's really out there and what's really happening that's not being shown to the public. And it's terrifying, to be honest. It's terrifying. And I worry that if there are not more people out there that are willing to speak the truth and speak up and not worry about the consequences, then we're going to be stuck with that. And, the whole Alex Jones incident, and y'all pay attention because that shit is a mess on so many levels. Like, you have to think about what he did. How is that different from what any mainstream media news platform, big platform does? How is that any different? How? That's right, it's not. But they get to do it every single day. Every single day with no blowback. They get to report on stories with no confirmation, no sources, no nothing. And they have no blowback. And they don't have to be held responsible for anything. And this man is being held responsible for almost $1 billion. That's a joke. That's a joke. Are you kidding me? Anyway, so don't get me started on the whole 2020 debacle. Mm-mm. I didn't believe not one thing anybody said about any medical situation. You're not going to tell me what I'm supposed to do with me, my children. Mm-mm. I'm going to do me. And if I feel like it is a correct thing to do, I will do it. But if I'm not comfortable with it, you're not going to do it. And that's how I felt. That's what it was. And you're not going to bully me into, you're not. It's not going to happen. Anyway, so that's my little intro. a little intro to who I am, what I am. Like I said, not really sure where I'm gonna go with this, but I think my first adventure is gonna be looking at the George Zimmerman trial, and because I didn't watch it, obviously, I back then I wasn't interested in the things. Things were just going on the way they were going on. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know what was put out there and this and that and the other. Okay. And as far as anything else goes, I don't know. But we shall see and we shall find out. But so stay tuned. And if you'd like to hear more, click that like button, click that notification bell, that share button, you know, whatever the case may be. Yeah. So, come on this little adventure. Like I said, brand new. Here we are. See how it goes.